whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hooker force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira whakarongo pi kari kari mai. Hare hare mai, o Taringa hare hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody, gather up close everybody. Kani move that body, kani move that body.
Tēnei te rere nei I runga I ngā ia o te wā, āku ngā mihi, āku ngā whakamānawa kia koutou, kei ngā iwi o ngā maunga, kei ngā waitukukiri o nui maororoa mā, anei a Taringa e mihi ake nei tēnā koutou. Nau mai hoki mai, here we are coming at you from the bustling metropolis of Te Awamutu. And zooming in from just a little town. Little town I grew up in.
Yes.
Te rotorua nui a kaumata momoe I tēnei ata we have kahurangi me tana pāpā. Kuia tā mātou, tā tātou manuhiri te rānei. Nō reira tēnei te mihi kia koe Papa Trev, nau mai, hara mai.
Hara mai.
Kia ora rā.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, kahurangi, korua koto pāpā.
Ai, me kaua hau e eye roll.
Me chucky koe I o kupu. Hoi no, and this is a special episode, neha.
It's special.
Is it just Matatini or what is it?
Well, we've got one of the doyens.
Kia ora.
Oh, pai tērā.
You know, a doyen, one of the legends, really,
Kia ora.
of te ao kapahaka with us today. So, you know, it'd be remiss of us not to delve, I guess, into the inner recesses of your memory, Papa Trev, I tēnei rā. We're just going to have a yarn I tēnei rā.
Kapa.
And I don't want to, you know, karae pirangi tāhai te taitara o haka yarns because somebody else uses that.
Somebody else uses it.
Yeah.
The production company.
Hoi anō, koira te wairua o tā tātou noho tahi I
Kia ora.
tēnei rā. Engari, mihi tonu nei kia koutou, te māngai pāho koutou, kōrua ko irirangi te motu, e tautoko mai nei I a Taringa. And good to be back and have you to play because we've been like
It feels, we've been
ana
ships passing in the night, neha.
te ahua nei
Ai. Hoi no, ko whakawhiti mai anō tātou ara.
koia hoki
Ngā ararau o Tangaroa.
Ai, pai te ki te a tātou, I a praone mau ana I tana tiha te muramura nei, summer nei. I'm loving it.
yeah I'm like ready to go somewhere else after this in case that happens.
Ai, kia ora.
So
You
ko
know, be
hoki mai I
prepared.
Japan.
Kao, he mahi aku,
Ai.
Hoi no, e te iwi, change it up I tēnei rā, I rātu hōtaka ko te kiwaha. Engari, harai te mea kiwa, e whakatauki ke tēnei, te mea ko tēnei nohoanga o mātou I tēnei rā, e pāna ki te kapahaka, anō reira I whakaro ake au ki tētahi kōrero kapahaka. And we have the embodiment, actually, of Tāne Rori with us today.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
Ana, ko te kōrero nei, e haka I te haka a Tāne Rori.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Yep.
E haka I te haka a tāne rore.
E haka I te haka a Tāne Rori.
Kia ora.
So he whakatauki ke tēnei, this is actually a proverb, and it instructs us and encourages us to haka, to embody tāne rore when we haka, whether you are a wahine o tāne.
Kia ora.
And if you don't know, hene raumati with tama I te rā, or tamanui te rā, and they had tāne rore, and tāne rore is the heat wave.
The heat wave.
The heat wave. And some say that heat wave is where we get the wiri from.
Ai,
The
ka
wiri.
hau whakaro mō tērā. E whakai ana koe ki tērā?
Well, ko tētai atu kōrero I rongo rāhau represents your Māori.
Ai.
And it is also the shake when hene ahuone shook with life. I wiri ia.
Ai.
So there's a few kōrero about the origins of the wiri.
Hoi no, hei te mutunga iho, he ihi ei.
Yeah.
He ihi, he wehi.
Yeah. And I'm feeling the good wiris. Papa Trev I te rānei. So koe rā tā tātou kōrero e haka I te haka a tāne rore. And anei a tāne rore e noho mai nei I tēnei rā. So Papa Trev, we're going to throw it over to you.
Ai.
Yeah, tell us a little bit of kōwai koe, nōwhia koe. To all our 50,000 listeners, no pressure. Kei a koe.
Ka pai. Tuatahi kei te mihe kia kōrua Lindsay rawa ko Paraone. Ko au, Trevor Maxwell, MBA, Maori boy from Oahu, the ancestral home of Ngāti Rangiwewehi.
ki Rotorua, and pleasure to be here with my favourite daughter.
His only daughter, e te iwi, so you know.
And my favourite son-in-law, Shay, he's good, but pleasure to be here to be talking to you and to our people out there, and of something that we're all so passionate about, and that's the love for kapahaka. And for me, it goes back a long way. I'm just so pleased that I am still able to participate. In this case, Te Matatini started in 1972 and now still involved somehow, waiting for the tutor to give me a call that I might get the choral conductor's role again, or just be super koro and look after the mokopuna.
Tāhua. Tāhua tēnā. And you know, e te pāpā, i a koe kōrero ana mo te Matatini. You know, we're coming up, Te Matatini's in a week, pretty much. Because it's Friday. It's coming up Monday. So koe te whakarongo ana, we did this, you know, it's Back to the Future. Anyway, we're actually going to take a bit of a trip down memory lane. So a lot of people, and koutou e mohi ana reo ana kareo pirangi taha i te whatitiri, but there's a book coming out. That's not our cheat. E te pāpā, share with everybody what are some of the memories about how Te Matatini started and what it was called then. Who was in the room? What happened? Do you know? People love here, you know. How ngā kōrero?
Yeah, lovely. Because up till they were setting up and preparing and to make Te Matatini a New Zealand Polynesian Festival, as it was called then, a kind of a reality for many of us who were performers. We were participating in hui tōpu, hui āranga, the koronei hana, and those were the journeys that we loved. We started off, for me anyway, and we can't use these terms anymore, but we were called the midgets.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the juniors.
Yeah.
And then by the time Te Matatini came around, well, I was in the senior roles, but I was the youngest in the group of Rangiwewehi. And the memories I have when we first started, and that's why I'm pleased to hear that Tangiwai is going to come onto the program and talk, because what gave us even more passion was we both travelled away with the New Zealand Māori Theatre Trust Group on a 3.5-month world tour through Expo 70 in Osaka, then through the USSR, as it was called then.
Wow.
Russia. And even where in Kiev we performed Ukraine. And it hurts us now, hurts me personally, to see what's happening to a lovely place like Ukraine. Then we toured the rest of Europe, through Hungary, Greece, and then into the UK. And we were blessed that the late Inia Te Wiata took us through to where his carving was done on the bottom floor of New Zealand House.
That's right, yeah, that's the po there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just recently did a translation for that po because they're refurbishing it. Yeah.
And then we moved on over to the USA, and some stopped off in Los Angeles, some in Hawaii.
What a trip.
But the rest of us came home after our 3-month tour. The pleasing thing that I remember about that is, out of that touring group of 35 people who had to go through auditions throughout New Zealand to get there, 2 weeks in Manutuke, 80 people there, and away we went. And from that tour came leaders who started off in their groups, like Atarete and I with Ngāti Rangiwewehi, Tangiwai and George Ria, Waiherere, and Tom and Vicky Ward with Puke Ahu, Piri Shasha with his Rōpu in Hawke's Bay, and many of the other performers. And we came back with a whole lot of new ideas and fresh ideas because we had choreography brought into our performances overseas. And also when we used to get together for Te Matatini, and it still happens now, it's like a reunion for us who toured away together then. Highly competitive when we get together on that stage now, but the love lives forever.
Lifelong friends, Dad?
Lifelong friends.
Oh,
and the pleasing thing is their tamariki now, and like mine, they're carrying that on, the next generation. And the mokopunas are coming through. Yeah. Those were the early memories I have.
And if you want to actually have a look at this, there's a documentary of the, is it the New Zealand Māori Theatre Trust? That
Yes,
was the name
2
of
weeks
it.
in Manutuke.
2 weeks in Manutuke was the name of the documentary. It's on YouTube.
Kia ora.
cool.
Mehe mea hihana koe te mātakitaki e tērā.
2 weeks in Manutuke.
We'll have to put that link up. We'll
Yeah,
put it in
we'll
our,
have to share
on
it,
the
yeah.
page.
It's actually really awesome. Ka kite koutou I etahi o ngā tino mātanga I āwhina I tēnei hunga te taha ki te reo. Oh my God, there's some funny moments of Dad trying to dance. It's hilarious. And he's got these amazing sideburns. So,
Yeah.
all of that 70s styles coming through. But he rawe.
Bring them back, bring it back.
So you went away, you came back, you were saying with all of these ideas, and then a lot of the group that toured, ki Tāwāhi, went on to be leaders of their own kapahaka.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you went overseas to be invigorated, to come back and have your own kapa. The thing I find interesting is you went overseas to do that.
Was Vicky and Tom, were they Pōneke, still Pōneke then though, right?
I think they were still in Pōneke.
Yeah.
And then they moved away to form their own group called Puke Ahu.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they were able to bring in the ideas, because we received great creative stuff to do with our rōpū.
Oh.
And when we arrived back, Ātereta and I, we weren't the leaders of Rangiwewehi at the time. Hori Brennan
Kia ora.
was our tutor. And then he moved to Christchurch for work on the wharf. And a lot of our people came and visited Ātereta and I. I mean, I think I was only 25 at the time, and Ātereta the same age. But most of the group were older than us, but they came and they wanted us to be to the tutors. We said, but most of the group much older than us, and if we become tutors, there's some big changes we want to make with the rōpū. And they said, that's fine, that's why we want you. You've come back with ideas. So we did, and the hardest part was stopping smoking in the middle of the practices, singing and smoking.
Because that was the thing back then, Dad? Like, smoking was everywhere, and even in the wharekai.
From pilots to doctors, koina te mahi.
Yes.
Yeah. And also getting them out of rugby shorts under the pew-pews.
Yeah.
So lovely change, but we moved from there, and we also said instead of entries and exits coming on 4 rows and singing going off with 4 rows, we introduced choreography and everything, and a lovely change.
Yes. So the tour was pre-Polynesian Festival?
Yes, 1970.
Wow, so that's like, so 2 years before the inaugural Polynesian Festival.
First festival in Rotorua,
Ka pai.
72.
So talk to us, Uncle, a bit about where did the thought come from to have the festival, the Polynesian Festival, and who was involved in setting it up, and
Pai tērā.
te me.
Ka pai. Because I was so interested, I attended the meetings that were being held. It's called Te Puia now, but it was New Zealand Māori Arts and Crafts then. And Kuru Waka, who was the chair out there, and Kingi I Haka was one of the main drivers at the time, talking with the then Minister of Māori Affairs, Duncan McIntyre.
Right.
And the kōrero started to happen that there's a strong desire and a hunger throughout Aotearoa to have regions competing and competitions. And, they would still have our hui tōpu, hui aranga, koronei hana, but this was for the whole of New Zealand. So it started from there, and even the minister attended, and they chose to have the first festivals in Rotorua, and it was going to be annually.
Wow.
The first 2 were annually. Then they realised it's got to be 2 years is too big.
Ka pai.
Aye.
And our first regional, you had to have regionals, and we performed in our first regional the end of January anniversary weekend, and then a month and a half later we were into the nationals.
Wow.
Aye.
So
Turnaround.
Did you change the bracket from regionals to the festival?
not then.
Yeah.
Not then.
Ko te rori rori ka pērā, ne?
Yeah, and there wasn't iPhones and
Yeah.
videos and things to copy what you're doing. And the first Polynesian festival, as it was called, we had the islanders included with us, but it was hard for our judges to kind of judge them. So the only time we could be compared would be in the choral. So that
Aye.
was us. And then some years later, they had their own festival, and we continued with our own.
Aye.
And so at the time, we set up our organising committee here, and I joined that, and I had my little helpers, volunteers, and that's when I had little Te Morrison and his cousin Howie as my little helpers working in the changing rooms and looking after the toilets for the performers coming on stage. And that was held at Te Puia, but rain came along and we went indoors at the Sportstrome in Rotorua.
Aye.
And at the time there was only about 13, 14, 15 groups performing. Now we've got 40 groups, of course. I can still remember things like it was yesterday, all the things that was happening then.
Cool.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall at that time.
Aye.
Koe hoki.
Aye.
Now, as you know, Uncle Trev, I'm head judge this year.
Yes, you are, Mr. Coe.
Ki Te Matatini. Ko te kai whiri
I've
whiri
got your
matua.
cell phone number.
I don't have any influence on the marks at all.
Yes, ko koe te tika.
Yeah,
Ko
we
hau-
need a head judge. We need a head judge.
I'm their kaitiaki. But, you know, I'm thinking about who were some of the judges from that first festival that you recall?
Hamuera Mitchell.
Ooh.
And we had John Rangiwewehi involved then. Mind you, the judging panel was only about 12, 14 people.
And they did
Wow.
what, everything?
Now we've got more in the judges' tent than we've got on the stage.
That's right. Well, to the listeners, so everybody knows, there's 4 judges per item.
Yeah.
We have now, plus we have a matatoki, which is like a scrutineer, and
Oh, yep.
and then we've got a whole lot of backup reserves, particularly more so for this festival because of COVID.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then there's a kai whiri matua position.
Wow.
So, you know, to hear there was only 12 judges, but, you know, these would have been the creme de la creme of Te Ao Māori of the time. John
Absolutely,
Rangiwewehi,
yeah.
Hamuera Mitchell. Be good, Uncle, if you go back over your marks from that year. I know you've still got them.
He's probably still got them up here, up in,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, to have a look who all the judges were from that lineup, both 72 and 73, because
Tika.
you're the archive.
Kia ora.
You know, yourself, it'll be interesting to see you, Papa Pita and Auntie Tangiwai, pull your things together, and perhaps the Wehi family.
Kia ora.
Because we've actually got big holes.
Yes.
You're right.
You know, I roto I te hitorea o te whetiwara. Anyway, that's another time. I do digress.
Kapa.
But, you know, when I heard Hamuera Mitchell, and what were their comments like?
Kia ora.
Were they PC or were they just ruthless?
They were pretty ruthless. You know? Yeah. And then you'll probably notice why Te Aroha groups, we were sort of bruised in those early things. You didn't come on from the left because when you come onto the marae, this is the way you come. And
Yeah.
so that's where we come on from even to this day. We
Kia
come
ora.
from the... So, You know, and even all the items, whether it be the haka or the action song or the mōteatea, some of the whakaaro and some of their thoughts and that, we still try and embrace to this day, but you've got to mix it with creativity and if this program was going for 24 hours, I think I remember some of the judges' marks, and 73 especially.
Yeah, okay, so you can share
there.
that with
You
us.
can go there,
Kei a
Mata.
koe te wā e te papa.
Unfortunately for our group, one of the judges, because the scripts were sent in, he judged the wrong one and we got poor marks for it. But there was nothing you could do at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, and I do remember it was Bill Parker was the judge at the time. And all we could do is we meet at a hui months later or a year later and say, e hoa, you marked the wrong one, and karohana. So we let it
We wouldn't get there today.
But it made me more determined, and I think that's why I got involved with the running, not only our local organising committee, but also at national level, went on to the national committee, spent 25 years on there to try and eliminate the mistakes that can happen, because the groups spend months and months of rehearsals getting everything together, and a stroke of a pen can cost you dearly.
Yes.
And but we didn't have scrutineers and a head judge like yourself now that can look at this, possibly look over there and say, oh, hey, there's a bit of an error there, and take it back to the judge to maybe have a look, aroha mai, and things like that. Because once it's gone, it's gone.
Kia ora.
Well, since I was a child, and if, my mates don't hurry up, I'm just going to take this all to myself.
Well, I'm a fan of all here.
I think the best televised festival was 86. Before that, it was done in patches. So 1986 or Tautahi, the whole festival was televised, to my knowledge. And then after that, then you had 88, which is again was sort of done in patches, but most of the bracket of teams was shown.
Right.
Then you get up to 1990, was a bit of there was only one, it was on Channel 3 that year. And the next was 1992.
Yeah, on the barge.
Yes, on the barge, but unless you knew somebody who worked for and that was a partnership done with the Tainui.
Tainui, yeah. Aotearoa TV or,
Yeah. Unless you knew somebody in the know, you wouldn't see the whole bracket of a group.
That's right.
Yeah, you had to watch it in parts.
Tuku Roirangi was involved then too as a commentator.
And 1989, whangarei, 88, was the first time that the top 6 was trialled.
Oh.
That's right.
Yes.
And then 1990, Waitangi. And then 1992, Ngaruawahia, the barge. And that's when, it wasn't until 1994, Hāwera, that you got to see the whole bracket of a team on the matangi, what we call the matangi rua now, the finals.
Finals, yeah.
Kia ora.
So, and then from there was a bit of consistency.
Yeah.
But, going on what I saw as a kid, some of my memories of Rangiwewehi in particular that stand out for me was the whakawātea in whangarei. So, everybody was going on about Waihere when they threw the rope. Rangiwewehi did that in 1988.
Oh,
That's
they
right.
did that in 88?
Yes.
Oh.
Te arawa te waka when you pulled the waka off. And the
Kia
rope
ora.
went around the taiaha. I can't remember who the taurapa was. Also the poi makareti papakura.
Kia ora.
Yes, and the scarves.
Exactly. I was like, whoa, they came up and they put red
Revolutionary.
scarves on the
Aye.
woman. That's a standout memory for me. Rangiwewehi have always been trailblazers. And then I always say, for life, whakaeke changed after 1992. And I've said that on Taringa.
Aye.
Numerous occasions, I think.
Yeah.
And other kapahaka aficionados would agree with me. And if you don't, I wā koutou nei hoki.
Oh, kia ora.
But, the whakaeke in 1992 fused, synthesized
Ah, nice.
haka and waiata, which hadn't been done.
Aye.
It was either sing first, then haka,
Yep.
or haka first, then sing, which Apanui mostly has done. But nobody has sort of mixed the two together. You know, and all of us koutou te ao kapahaka, you know, you can watch that whakaeke today and it'll still hold weight on stage at a Matatini.
I want to go binge watch some pre-90s.
Oh, hard
haka
out.
now.
Oh, honestly, yes.
But the other, what I want to talk about, Uncle, what I want to talk about is not that. I want to talk about the haka 1992.
Rangi papa.
Yeah, when all the men got on their backs.
Kia ora.
You know, because everybody was talking about Wakahuia 1990 when the men turned their backs in the
That's
poi.
right.
Wahine Purotu. But 1992 was when Rangiwewehi the men got on their backs to represent Ranginui. So
Aye.
I want to talk about the noise and the kōrero that happened after that and what you and Atareto were thinking when you decided to... Because before then, tātou, Rangiwewehi ko oku whakaaro e nei, Rangiwewehi had a style of haka with the men. Very, very unique. If you watch all their haka up until a certain point, ngā tāne a Rangiwewehi tāko e kōrero nei, they had a particular stance.
Kia ora.
And even the rhythm of their haka is very, very different to any other kapa. Like Wakahuia had a rhythm, Rangiwewehi had a rhythm, a manawa taki. So that was like bloody 360 doing something like that, because before then the haka were quite traditional. You know, and then you just say, I want you to talk about that.
Hei, I mahu e ia koe ngā taro iti.
Yes, true, yes, and yeah, taro iti.
Well, it took a bit of changing in the group too. We had to have some kōrero to get them to buy into the concept. We were talking about rangi and papa and that. And then the first one was to get them out of the white rugby shorts underneath the pew-pew. Then there was the black underwear under the pew-pew. Then we said, right, it'll be the flesh-coloured scans to look like you have nothing on, but you are going to go down on your backs. And so we knew we were taking it right to the edge, but if you didn't, you had to have some courage.
And trust,
And trust and go for it and just work hard at it. And eventually they bought into it. The team did, the boys and the girls. But we made sure we talked it through to really get the buy-in. And so we were absolutely thrilled that we were to take that. But I can recall after, that wasn't the only questions that I had brought at me, not only for the way we had the haka done like that, but we had Irirangi with us, a traditionalist but very strong and flamboyant, and he helped us, guide us through those things in his way.
Wow.
Then I went down to a meeting for our national committee a week or two after, and I found out that our chairman, Kingi Haka, didn't like it at all, and Kei Tapaia partly accepted some of that from some of the traditionalists, but the event was over, and it was afterwards that we were talking the kōrero, but many others thought that this is a lovely way of being a bit more creative with our 6 items that you have to perform.
Kia ora.
How was it received by the judges there? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Or like whether you guys were like really marked down for it or...
No, I think... Actually, the
was it
judges
just
of the
gobsmacked?
time, I think they got to, mind you, we worked hard on the script area so that they would know what we were trying to portray.
Tips e te whānau.
Tips, but there was a build-up, so they've got
no.
context instead of being surprised and going, hey, what's happening?
Or there's no
The only
assumptions.
surprise was the actual performance, but
Aye.
there was that. They needed to be aware of what we were
Kia
wanting.
ora.
But also, we weren't kind of the pioneers of doing some of that stuff. I always admired Ihi Frenzy and Te Hei o Tāhoka.
Kia ora. Beautiful.
You know, Winnie Ate Chris.
Yeah.
And they came on and they did their performance the way they wanted to on that
Yeah.
stage.
They didn't care, eh? They just...
And I said, that's what we want to do as well. So I give a big shout out to what Chris had brought to the stage as well. I loved what he portrayed. So it was blending the traditional and a bit more creativity, and sometimes take some risks. You might get rewarded. Yeah.
Kia ora.
Speaking about rewards, I'm going to rewind from, we've been talking about 1992. Your other items too, it just is like the way Taringa had some really cool choreography and that, the ending of it I recall, yeah. But going back to 1983, your first win.
Yes.
Hastings.
Yes, here taunga, Ngāti kahungunu.
Aye.
And, you know, you and I had a little bit of conversation at the 50th.
That's right.
And you didn't really realise that the whakaro around Tani Wharau and yourselves. Talk about that win. But I actually want to talk about how did it feel first for you and Atareta and the iwi, really, not just the kapa, to have that win. And then, you know, we'll have a little bit of a conversation about some of the things that happen afterwards.
Yeah, good. I'm happy to do that. And 1983, yeah, it's a year. And we're very proud of our 1983 win and 1996 win in Rotorua, and been runner-up many times, so we know what it's like to be a bridesmaid as well. In 1983, just before talking about the items and the performance, and you touched on how things have changed. Television that time, we did our performance and then went back to our motel, back to relax, swimming pool, all that kind of thing. But sadly, television did not record our performance.
Oh.
In those days, it came to maybe 12 noon or whatever it is. They break for lunch.
Yeah.
So off goes the crew and off goes the producer.
Oh.
And we're on and,
Karoha.
Oh, gosh.
you know, and they hadn't recorded it. And my late brother-in-law, Sir Howard, was the MC compere for the day. And then he realised later the television was gone, empty camera crew. And so it continued on, and John Rangiwewehi, and later on in the day, they said, hey, some of the group, because this TV schedule is working in with their lunch breaks and, and their breaks, and he said, what if a group has done so well and they're not recorded? He said, John Rangiwewehi, I think at the time, indicated, that'd be a tragedy because they're putting together a 1 hour compilation on a Sunday night for the rest of the country to see. And he said, well, okay, you as the head judge and that, just look over it, be an overview. Well, he came back later and he said, we have a problem here. That program that's going out tomorrow night, he couldn't disclose what the results, first, second, third, and all that kind of thing is. But we're going to have a problem tomorrow night, and just indicated to Tar Howard that if you can get over to your whānau and get them back on stage again the next day.
Wow. I didn't even know that, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
And so we were having a great time, so was I, because, you know, being committed haka people, your 6 months, 3 months lead up to any of these major events, the health, oahi kore, drinking in moderation, and alcohol-free at the events, all that was very important to us. But when you finish all that hard work, you go back and you relax. We're at the swimming pool having wonderful, wonderful time. Then Howard came back and he said to his sister at dinner, he said, get Trevor into the room. And we've got to talk to him. So we went back into our motel, which fortunately was very close to where Here Taunga Park was. And he came in there and said, I can't tell you why or anything, but he said, you have to get the group back. They have to perform again tomorrow morning. That was Saturday morning. He said, but, you know, I can't say why, reason or anything, but they also are bringing a kahungunu group back of Piri Shasha's group.
Right.
So that kind of hid the reason, which we found out later is that we were the winning group, but we didn't know.
Wow.
Piri Shasha's group on that night had technical problems of sound. The mics were cutting out, and there were, and the audience was sort of, it wasn't fair.
Yeah.
It wasn't fair, and they were I think almost like the last group on that night. So they were urged to come back again the next morning and perform, and then we'd go on after them. And they talked about television issues, and that's what happened. So we went back the the hard part I'll talk about, trying to get a whole team
Trying
out
to rein
of
them in again,
celebration.
Yeah.
Bring them back down, bring them back.
Without telling the reason or knowing why, just to say,
And you only bought one pair of undies to perform.
Man, do a ceremonial flick in the air.
Threw them away.
I think these were their swimming togs in the pool. and not only that, and then having to get a couple of people out of the Furlong Hotel a little bit further on. And we as leaders, we let them relax. They've done their part, finished, and they were relaxed, and they said, no, go and get them out of there. And so I had to go down there.
That was all
We
worth it.
laugh and joke about it now, but back home, the hardest part was getting my father out of the pub.
Is that right?
Let alone the boys. And then so went in there, out fellas, why do you said we can relax us, we got to perform tomorrow morning. Television issues, they weren't there over lunch. So went in there, got them all back, pushed them all, have a good sleep. We're on again at 10 o'clock the next morning or thereabouts. Even Irirangi was having a great time. I said, we need you. At your prime. We come on back.
Isn't that funny? We watched that back and, koe nei te wātuatahi ko rongo au I tēnei kore. Tāne au I mohio I pērā te āhua. Engari ka titiro ai ki tērā kiriataka whakarai. Oh my God, did they just turn around again the next day?
And they were all on it.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Well, and Tiny was in that one, eh?
And Tiny was one of our performers with us. And I mean, the girls were great. They're having a good time, and they said, fair enough, we want to perform again.
Engari anō ngā tāne o awau.
But the tāne and the worst part is I had 6 policemen in my group, and they were the hardest ones to get disciplined. All the policemen. So in a way, we went back, and they saw how hard Piri Shasha's group from Kahungunu, that they performed when they gave their performance after the sad episode for them the night before. It was like how groups are doing now, 2 performances anyway. And the group gave one of their better performances. I wouldn't put it down to the brown beverages that some of them had, but that's the story of that 1983. And thanks for that part, Tai.
What a kōrero.
Good memories.
What a kōrero.
Pai ana, mai rawe. And ko te painga I ako hoki ko e te I kōrero hou. Tahurangi.
Oh, hi. Oh, I feel a bit sick that I didn't know that. Hoi no?
Oh, we didn't want to tell our younger ones too much.
I wasn't born.
And that.
Oh, that's right. She wasn't.
Yes.
Also, was it Lower Hutt 1970? I can't remember which one.
79.
Every group had to perform twice, because...
Twice. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Timothy talking about that because the venue was too small, so you perform once for the judges and then you performed again for the crowd, is that right?
Oh, like a koroneihana. Like
there were 2 halls in Lower Hutt, 2 venues. But what happened was weather related. It was raining like anything. There was a stage set up, one of the venues there. It was an outdoor stage.
Yes.
But the rain was so thin, so we had to perform there. But thank goodness there was side by side, and then move from there into the next hall and perform. and the judges were in one of the rooms, but also the crowd and the people.
It's amazing, eh? I mean,
Yeah, we had to do that.
You just think about today, ne? Ka whakaroke koe ki te naina, and you're like, oh, that would never go down.
Moaning
and PGs.
Yeah.
Oh, complaints.
Whānau leaving.
What are you up to?
Hey, and there's more. I
Yes,
can
yes,
recall.
okay.
There was more. The judges, with their marks, were using
Calculators.
for their scores and everything. Batteries went flat on a couple of them.
So missing a zero or...
Yeah.
And so that was caused another furore. Oh.
Oh, so there were no collators back then, or wow, it's just...
Oh, they had collators. Sorry, it should have been the collators I mentioned.
Oh, the collators,
Some of
calculators
their
went
batteries
flat.
went
Wow.
flat.
So, ka whakamahi a ngā ringa. Ka mahu ētahi.
Well, we've come
No.
along. This Matatini e te iwi, we will be, everything's on laptops. So,
Kia ora.
you know,
Yes, I heard
Make sure your
that.
batteries are charged.
Are we still doing the Olympic system, Parane? Is it still the Olympic
Yes,
system
yep.
i tēnei wā?
Oh, yeah.
I like that system.
When did that come into effect, Dad?
I know we incorporated in 1996 here in
Yes.
Rotorua, but it was used before then. That's the 4 judges per item, off with the top mark for take away any perception of bias, and take away the bottom mark so that
Same thing, eh?
take away the maverick, and in it come.
speaking about marks,
Yeah.
back to that 83 festival,
Aye.
and there was a discrepancy with
Aye.
Rangiwewehi's marks. So you've talked about Te Matatini Nui and your mate Piri. So, you know, I got told a story and then you sort of cleared things up for me and I was like, wow. So what happened after the festival in 1983? You won, so congratulations. And then there was a bit of kōrero about the marks,
Yes.
just to jog your memory.
After that weekend, and then everyone were given their judging papers and their collation sheets and the master chart. And then, like we do in this day and age as well, with a microscope, went through everything. And it showed that there was a technical error by the collator who'd added it up, and it had us ahead and Tanya Wharau, is it? Yeah, and Ngapi Waka's rōpū at the time, and them behind. And it said that they were penalised. They never received their originality marks for the action song. That's what it was. And they didn't get their 10 marks, which would have put them ahead of us if that happened. But in further scrutiny and looking into it, it was done correctly, obviously by the collator or somebody, that they claimed originality, but they weren't entitled to originality because it was not an original tune or song. It was Dancing Queen from ABBA, which was performed by them. And so as the marks came out, that was correct, with us still in front, with them not having received what they felt that they should have had. So it wasn't an argument between us and our relatives from Tani Wharau. It was in the area of collating marks and rules. But some wanted to make changes, and Kingi Haka said Piri Shasha, who worked in the office down there, to come and see me in Rotorua and hopefully coerce me or convince me that we should change and take the trophy elsewhere. And we declined because of the fact that, well, if someone isn't entitled to a mark in an action song, 10 more marks, which would have made them winners.
Yeah.
Doing ABBA's Dancing Queen, we felt, no, somehow it is right. But we also said, no, an official announcement was made on that stage with us as being winner, and Dane Te Ate Rangika, who was the one who was presenting the trophies and that as well, that's where it should stay. It's not an issue between us or another group or something. That was there. And that's my memory of all that time.
Kia ora.
And of course, you've got, great whanaunga with Uncle Dave Thompson.
I was best man at his wedding.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys lived together, right? In Rotorua.
That's right, flattered together, performed together.
Yeah. Cool. What are some of the, some highlights? And kare moe me koira te kupu tika, but probably some memories that continually return to you, I would say, over the Polynesian Festival, Adam Pass days. What are some of those memories that come back to you over the years, some of the standouts?
Kapa, yeah, there are many. And some of it might be about my own group or some other groups and that too, but in fond memories of my rōpū would have to be our whakaeke on the barge at Ngāti here. We're happy with that. Pukaki, when we first brought Pukaki, the action song, which has become one of Te Arawa's classics. We all do it together. And we actually brought that theme back because our rōpū with the rest of Te Arawa and Mātātua went to St. Louis in the USA for Te Māori.
Yes.
So we felt about Pukaki because it was the first time I ever saw Pukaki in a museum in St. Louis. It used to be in the basement up in Auckland Museum up there. So that would have to be one. But if I can really take a hats off is to our wahine from Rangiwewehi, who I've seen on the Poi trophy, had won it the most times. And that is something that I'm very proud of, our wahine. In actual fact, I think they saved our butt on many occasions. I think we'd never have qualified if it wasn't for our wahine. And Atareta loves the Poi, as well as being a tremendous singer herself and
Tautoko.
Taking rōpū, but just the hours she spent on the Poi. And the pleasing thing for me, it's coming through in my tamahine and others in our rōpū.
Ātāhua.
That I remember with a lot of fondness. But years ago, when I saw Tūmanako performing, might have been in Gisborne or somewhere else, and I talked to Kawariki, and they reminded me of when we were young at that age and starting out and working hard. And I said to myself, they're going to be a group to be reckoned with in years to come. And when they won it, the last one in Pōneke, I was so happy for them. So pleased. But it brought memories back of ourselves. And then I think of Peter Sharples and his rōpū because, hey, we were all friends for life, but for that 30 minutes on stage, there's only two groups in the competition, Ngāti, Rangiwewehi and the rest.
That's a great mentality.
And the ones who want to be in Rangiwewehi.
Honestly, that's what I grew up with. And all of our VHS tapes, they would only, show Shay when he first met me. He came home, he's like, oh my God, you guys got heaps of kapahaka videos. Awesome. Started watching them. Well, it cuts off after Ngāti Rangiwewehi because that's what they wanted to record.
Where it starts and ends.
Oh, beautiful.
Aye, beautiful.
And also, Peter, when he brought that action song out, and at the time, the space machines and all that, and they did it, and I loved it. So every now and again, some things come through, but a lot of groups throughout the country. I haven't seen them on a Matatini stage yet, but I went last year when we were all up there and getting our site visits and everything from Tamaki Makaru committee and that, and I saw at the Ahu they when
Angitu.
Yep.
And because we love singing in our rōpū back home, and I listened to him in the Ahu, I thought, and if I'm allowed to say this on your program, I think they're going to be a group to be reckoned with at this forthcoming.
Yeah,
Coming with the
e te iwi.
oil on the
Yeah.
pics, eh, che, ka boy.
And that's what we used to focus on at home, singing, a lot of singing. And then we were blessed. We had the best singer in New Zealand for over 50 years, and Sir Howard coming out of home, taking us for our singing, for our chorals. And
You had irirangi, you had,
Yeah, some,
And irirangi, we were blessed.
compositions of Kato Flavel, I mean,
Kia ora.
Aye.
Kia ora.
yeah,
Aye.
wonderful.
And
What a legacy.
So
Aye.
in 5 minutes trying to say something that we've had in 50 years, we've been blessed and wonderful memories.
Kia ora.
Tēnā koe te papa. Very humble. I love the passion. You're also a previous winner of Kai Tātaki Tāne.
Kia ora.
And, and I'm saying in humility, I have a look at your name on that trophy when that I'm happy to say is at home at the moment, but we'll be going back to
Yes, tēnā
Matatini
koe.
next
Kia ora.
week. And I had a little look at this morning, just a reminder to see some of those haka greats that have won that trophy for Kai Tātaki. And Irirangi was the inaugural winner
Yes,
of
he was the
Kai
first.
Tātaki Tāne in 1972. How many, did you win it once, or how many times did you win?
I won it once, but I still led the group when we were in Hastings.
Yes.
And we gave that honour to Irirangi, who had just joined us a year before. He came from
Yep.
our Piki relation to be part of us. What we tried to encourage at Rangiwewehi was leadership. And so once I'd won it and Irirangi, we talked with him, and we were promoting Te Muera.
Kia ora.
Howie.
Oh, he was
And,
one of
and
my
their names
favourite.
are on there too. And then,
Taitoko.
and then the Kai Tātaki Wāhine trophy came in years later. I don't know, us
Oh, really?
chauvinist men.
That's right.
We had the trophy from the beginning. I think that came later.
Yeah,
For the
late
woman.
70s, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. 77
Kira.
or 79, the female leader came in.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had Atareta won it and Donna's won it. And so we were nurturing leadership in members in our group. And
Kia ora.
But only yesterday I flew back from Wellington. It was at Te Papa for their 25 years celebration. Ran into the whānau, and Piki Thomas is the stage manager for the finals on the day, and he asked me if I could go back up on stage again. I've helped in the last 3 years. I know all the trophies that are there, so I'm going to help out there.
And just before we wrap up at the Papa, it was an honour having you at our board meeting. You know, to have you sitting with us the whole day, it was wonderful having you there. So, yeah, I did share that with you, but just to say that again, and of course, I tēnei nohoanga o Taringa i te rānei, kanui te mihi.
Aye, kanu te mihi. I think I just want to have my closing pātai for you, Papa, is your advice to young budding kapa, and also maybe perhaps some of your aspirations for kapahaka in general going forth in this new age and time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we've tried to encourage this a bit even with our groups over the years for themselves to go back out into the secondary schools, into the primary schools, the intermediate, and encourage them, give all the things they might have been learning from us out to them. So if that's any encouragement, that's one I'd love them to do, and continue with all the health initiatives that are in Te Matatini. Love what you do and be one, but for that 30 minutes on stage, do it for your hapu, your iwi, be proud of what you do.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
And remember, we're all blessed. I mean, I still remember, Parani, when you were leading your kura back in the day in the Te Arawa. I
Lakes
loved
High.
it. I loved it when we were getting you guys together too and nurturing the leadership, and now you're so brilliant. You've overtaken all of us. And,
Tai hoa tērā. E mihi ana kia koe te pāpā.
Kia ora.
Kei taku rangatira oro waiwa e mihi ake ana kōrua koto ta māhine. E noho mai nei, ana kua rangatira taringa i a koe i te rānei, i o whakaro. Thank you very, very much from us all. And yeah, kahurangi he āhuatanga anō i taumai te nohoanga tahitanga o te pāpā me te tamāri.
Ai, tika.
Nō reira e mihi ana ki a koe.
Tēnā tātou.
Hoi no e te iwi, we're going to get into our waiata o te wiki.
He hara.
And I think it's going to be pukaki.
Kia ora.
Oh, nice.
Koene te waiata o te wiki, and it is a classic. Not only a Taurawa classic, it's a kapahaka classic.
Tika.
And if you're at any good notable guitar party with kapahaka
Tika.
songs, e hara e te pāti pai if you can't sing pukaki. Hoi anō e te iwi o koutou taringa ki au ana i te waiata o te wiki pukaki whakarongo mai, and e te pāpā a horoa e mihi nei ki a koe, kua wātea koe, hoi anō tēnā hui hui tātou katoa whakarongo mai.
Ai, tēnā koutou.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Mungu te wāhai, te ruru hiko hiko te haere i te wānui a tāne. Pōhari atu rā i te rākau, e huna i hoai te kāhika. Ārai atu te toki kōkoi atu te whāka, toto te tarawai ka rehe te kākano. Pāhuhu i ho te pora pora, haupu ana te mara mara ki ngā waewai o te uretu. O pukaki! Rongo taku inga i te mahana, mapuna tene.
was off Te Matatini 50.
Ai.
Whakanui nei I ngā tino waiata o te Matatini mai tōna tīmatanga.
One of the, yeah.
And that is one of the greats, as we said. And, you know, to acknowledge the composition of me mihi hoki te kaitito
Kia ora.
nāna nei ngā kupu,
Ai.
uenuku.
Oh, kia ora.
Tika.
Is he still writing kahurangi? No, you don't need
Well,
to tell me.
a taiwa. No. No, I a tāhua tā mātou ko te tira waiata I te rātu tau, mo te kōpai o te Matatini. And Dad, beautiful, te Matatini flew Dad and my brother down because the way that pukaki is played on the guitar, my brother actually came up with the tune, and there's a very particular style in which you will play on the guitar, pukaki, so they graciously brought him down, and Dad, oh my God, I just seen the smile on his face and hearing it in a different light, and a lot of people would say to me, oh, does it sound like, you know, the original? I said, it's not supposed to.
Kia ora.
You know,
Yes.
he wā hou tēnei, ko ngā reo no ngā iwi o te motu, and that's the beauty of what that kōpai is that we were celebrating the waiata of the motu, and it was just, he mea whakahihiko I a mātou te whānau.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it speaks volumes too about how your father talks about pushing the edges of waiata and that. And e te iwi, kia mohi o mai koutou, we suggested this waiata, and it was Matua himself that said, use the one that's on the Matatini 50th.
Yeah.
So
Kia ora.
kona he tirohanga tērā I te whakaaro o te tangata. You know, kia whakahau ai e tahi waiata, e tahi āhuatanga o te kapahaka. So, no, he mihi tērā, mihi tēnā.
And who are some of those, you know, kōrana koe mo te tira e te tuahine, who are
Ai.
some of the kai waiata other than yourself on that?
Yes. It's funny, we make our own jokes, those of us that were the singers. We're like, oh, it's a very taira whiti te arawa heavy. Oia no, etahi o mātou, ko Lolo Brown,
Ai.
ko Ricky Mitai, ko Ruth Smith, ko Erina Kopu, Christy Te Kurapa. And I think they really did try to get a nice spread, and they also had some beautiful rangatahi in there. They had Raylan Flavel, Dixie,
Beauty.
Eruera. Yeah, it was so awesome. And I hope that Matatini, not just selfishly, anybody, but that they bring that back, because it was just, you know, in kapahaka, ka mohi o koe parane, it was nice to walk into the room and everyone just sang.
Yes.
Jumped onto their notes.
Wow.
Yeah.
No teaching, just boom. When you had one rehearsal, powerful stuff.
Kia ora. That wouldn't be me.
No, you're the
Well, I
solo.
would be just singing lead, I'll have you all know.
Very strong.
Hey, I'll run the coffee, I'll hold the words up.
Oh, no, Leon tries to push us. No, bro, I do lead.
Yeah.
I lead, that's
Stay
it.
on your
Hey,
lane.
it's good when you have people knowing where they're meant to be.
Absolutely.
Me anui
Yeah.
You know,
tēnā.
I want to jump over there and everything.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
actually, I want to try to sing that.
I'll float between tēnā and...
You're the jumpers, eh?
Yeah.
Tāhua, kia ora, kia ora.
Aye,
Yes,
aye.
they
No,
do,
but-
and you say jump on there and listen to those waiata.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that is one of my favourites on
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
a little insight is that we recorded that last. So by the time, we were recording from Friday to Sunday. Pukaki was the last song that we sang, and by that time, ahua, ngaro haere,
Aye.
ngā reo. But I don't know, there was another energy that was brought to the tira when we started singing that, and they loved it. They really embraced it, and we were grateful as a whānau. I was really lucky that Dad came down and he was able to feel that mauri that the ropu generated as well. Was, yeah. I hope Matatini does something like that again.
Tēnā koe.
Kia ora.
I will take that
Aye.
whakaaro back.
Tika. And I'm excited
Tēnā
for
koe.
Matatini. I haven't been in camp, so it's been a, you know,
Yeah.
he mate e oranga rānei. I haven't felt the buzz, but man, e rongo
Yeah,
ana
ka tae
i
atu
te...
koe?
I've just
Why
started
would I?
feeling it
Yeah.
because I've been in camp fully.
Kia ora.
Well, not with a kapa, but with on the operational side of things. And just this week, so many people have said to me, I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, wow. And now I've just started to feel that. And I want to finish with you, Kaurangi. How are you feeling? Because you're going to be on stage soon. And it's
Yeah.
been, you know, kua hoa roa, you've been a presenter, is it
Yes.
the past three Matatini? You've
the past,
been
sorry,
a
excuse me.
presenter,
Aye.
kōrua ko mātai. How's
Aye,
it for you
aye.
getting back on stage with your kapa?
Ai, tēnā koe hoa. I am too excited. I am a little bit nervous. Me pono ahau. You know, because my last Matatini was 2013 here back in Rotorua.
Aye.
And my first Matatini was at Takaparafa in 2013.
Wow.
Ngāti
Wow.
Rangiwewehi. So
Yeah.
it's kind of, which was 20-something years ago.
You don't look
And I was
it.
a,
I'll say,
Oh,
were you
kia ora.
legal age to perform then?
oh, just I was a 14-year-old.
Yes, you had to be 14.
Yeah, so very, very excited. I'm just thinking of all of the kapa and all of the kaihaka around the motu. My voice is still trying to recover from the weekend and get ready for what will be, for many kapa, the final big push weekend, I think, because next weekend everyone will be getting ready to leave to attend Te Matatini. So this is our final push, and I'm feeling everybody's vibes, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, this is the first big event that we've all had together. We need this.
Yeah.
Te iwi Māori needs this.
Tika, en ko te tumanaku e ka manoa nui mai a tāwhiri mā te arangi nui.
Oh, kia ora, ki whakamāmā
Hoi no
mai.
e kore tae te pēhea.
Koe no hoki. Koe no hoki.
Yeah.
Well, ko te whakarongo ana, if you didn't know, it's Matatini next week.
Matatini fever.
Let's go.
Jump on Google and type in Te Matatini 2023 and you'll have all the info there. Go onto the website. You can buy some tickets. You can watch it live on TV too.
Right. And go back to our Ngā Taonga series where we've been looking at previous competitions before.
Yeah.
You know, get your binge before you get the live stuff.
Koina.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did.
Oh, as much as I did too.
Yeah. So e rere tonu ana ngā mihi ki tō tātou rangatira ki a Papa Trev, mō nei tai mai ki te tautoko i te kaupapa. Me ngā mihi hoki ki a koe kahurangi e manaaki nei aia.
It was cute. It was piwari.
Me tō whānau.
Ai.
Me ngā tamāhine i te me ko whakatongia ki roto i a rāua te kākano.
Kai.
I ngā taha e rua, kōrua ko tō hoa.
Ai, kia ora.
So ko tātou tērā e te iwi e mihi ake ana ngā manakitanga nui ki runga ki tēnā o koutou e noho ana ki o koutou kāinga a kua keiwhea i te ika Māui, i te waupounamu o a little old Guernsey. Nō rere e mihi ake ana huri noa tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Hei kona.
Hei kona.
Bit whakaronga, bit kari. Gather up close, everybody, buddy. Taringa. Yeah, tahuri mai ki yo. Whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing at the hooker force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds. Kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā ko nā whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira. Whakarongo pi kari mai. Hare mai, o Taringa, hare mai. We gotta gather up close, everybody. Gather up close, everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body.
Taringa, he mea tuku nā te wānanga o Aotearoa, ā, nā te māngai pāho me irirangi te motu I tautoko. To listen to more episodes, search for us on your podcast app and subscribe, or follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Taringa, whakarongo mai.